here.
Well, we are allowed to curse, right?
Oh, fuck yeah. Oh no, that's is Eitan here yet? Eitan's always saying, you have such a potty mouth. I don't understand. Why is it so cursing so much? Okay, yeah, now he's saying that's not my
That's in
accent.
New York.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. Okay, we're gonna get going in just a second, but just giving the late stragglers a chance to pop in. This is all mindset, guys. Your world is changing, as is mine and everyone else's with regard to these commissions. I think anybody just a little freaked out? Kind of 1, 2, 3. The rest of you aren't brave enough to admit it. Okay, some of you. It's and I went to what was presented by by our local board of the National Association of Realtors, and that's been problematic, I could say, because all this information is coming at us now when the changes officially in Palm Beach County are happening on the 13th, which is next week. Officially, every domicile, every area needs to be by August 17th. So we're 3 days sooner.
We're August 1st. So it started.
Who's we?
And yet, Brenda.
Brenda,
Sorry.
hey. So
in Jersey, but I'm like they're still changing the forms. So I said to my finance guy, I said, are they going to give us a little break for, like charging us or fining us? Because
oh, you're adorable.
well, a little time, especially when you keep changing the forms on you.
Yeah, it's look, we got a bad news, good news situation. Bad news is nobody's coming to save you. Good news is you could save yourself. And that's what these meetings are really about. In fact, one woman said in the meeting, Andy, I don't know if you went yesterday, and I know she said, oh, don't go to the masterminds. I'm like, of course, don't go to the masterminds. We're telling you what to do properly. I was really upset when she said that. In other words, she was like saying people are going to work you up. Look, we have a certain context that we need to work under. That's what today's meeting's really all about, is mindset. Now, what is the AI part of it? A few of you have asked me that. I told my partner Eitan, who's somewhere walking around the forest there, I told him that I do a lot of my rehearsals on AI. And I said initially I would never admit that publicly, but I guess I am. I do an awful lot of role play. I do an awful lot of planning. And I believe, and you'll hear this as a common theme throughout these meetings, that strategy and structure is going to be what will help you win over just pure glitz. For those of you who don't want to use the AI, that's fine. This meeting is covering all of that. But what I'm trying to say is that you could use this as a special tool to help you get ideas. What do I mean by that? You will run into the same questions over and over and over again. FAQ, frequently asked questions. All major websites have it. I'm always the one that resists going to the FAQ page because I always want to speak to a person, but that just might be a generational thing. I don't know what it is. The reality is you've heard the same questions over and over and over again, and there's not that many new ones that come up. Does anybody agree with that statement or no? Pretty much, kind of, sort of. Anybody had a doozy lately before I pick on Greg or Terry or something? Has anyone had a question thrown at them that's like really not been too known? No, maybe. Okay. Second cup of coffee isn't kicking in yet. That's fine.
Look, everything is unknown at this point. We haven't seen, if we have to give a buyer an exclusive contract to sign, we haven't seen it yet. So, me and my team, we're working on getting role playing stuff, and like, we want to be the professionals, and this is the law, and blah, 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 blah. But without the actual piece of paper to work from, we're still in the dark here.
Okay, so you don't have a buyer broker agreement?
Not an official one. We've had several betas thrown around, but it's not official.
And is that through? Well, tell everyone who you are and where you are.
I am Terry Robinson. I am from Brooklyn, the coolest place in the world. We are part I'm with Douglas Elliman Real Estate, which is a part of the RLS system that is Manhattan and Brownstone, Brooklyn. It is the exact same thing as an MLS with just a different letter at the front of it, but it encompasses that very important area of real estate in New York City. So we are bound by the codes of the Real Estate Board of New York, the acronym being REBNY. We keep being told these dates. We keep being told these forms. Our legal department sends us out notices that, oh, isn't this great? We're going to be in front of this, but we still don't have the exclusive.
So is that coming from Rebney or is that coming from Douglas Elliman, those papers? Or both?
The papers are coming from Douglas Elliman.
Got it. Okay. Well, we'll leave Douglas Elliman to the side here. You know, there are certain things that we could imagine will be the case. Here's another thing that people have not even spoken about, and I encourage you to go to something like Perplexity or Google this. The Department of Justice is not, you know, they don't really agree with what's been put out there. They believe that the buyer should only be paid by the buyer's broker and not have, right now as it stands, we're able to get paid if I call up Dina and find out that her seller is paying a commission, I can make a contract with her with her seller and between us and be able to get paid in that manner. That in and of itself is a huge administrative nightmare, but there's some people in the Department of Justice who are saying they don't even want that. And I do believe there's going to be a second wave coming to us in the future with all of this. So what do you mean?
I'm sorry to interrupt, but what did you mean by that?
The Department of Justice is saying that it hasn't gone far enough. That now I would encourage anyone who thinks I'm wrong, please Google it and tell me that I'm wrong. I have I'm man enough to be wrong, but I'd rather be wrong in this instance than not get you the info. Greg, go ahead. Greg's he's got a lot to say. Look at what he's got to say here. Go ahead.
You bet. You just as well mute yourself and sit back for a little while. So to start with, I'm in Charleston, South Carolina. We have had a buyer broker agreement the whole time that I've been licensed in this state. I was licensed also in DC, Maryland, and Virginia, and we also had a buyer broker agreement there. So the buyer broker thing is not new to me, but I do want to talk about the DOJ thing. You're probably familiar with the lawsuits that have been filed against the DOJ by 4 of the largest MLSs in the country. And what they are alleging is first, and probably most important, is this isn't the space for the DOJ. This is the CPB's arena. It's
CPD. Give us the acronym. CPD.
Consumer Protection
Protection
Bureau.
Division. Okay, good.
Yeah.
I'm bad with acronyms.
Well, yeah, me too. That's why I wasn't even sure I had it right, and you had to go ask me. But in any event, so more to come on the whole DOJ's involvement. Of course, we know that they always win one way or the other. But in any event, so all of our changes here in Charleston, South Carolina have been implemented. So we've got new forms. The MLS has been changed. The fines, they published a fine sheet on Friday. Although I saw something today that said
we gotta pick it up, Greg. Sorry,
I'm done. I just wanted to say that I wouldn't get too alarmed about the DOJ just yet.
Okay, no, yeah, and I'm not. But my understanding, and I didn't mean to make a hard stop with you here. I just didn't want to go on for a while. My understanding is the DOJ still has something to say about this. That's all I'm saying, and I would encourage everyone to Google it because we're not hearing enough about that. Now, onto the topic. Go ahead, Greg. Oh, you raised your hand. So okay, let's lower your hand. There we go. There we go. Okay, so we want to actually get on to the mindset, and with that, I want to just talk to everyone who has a routine, who's going through a day-to-day routine to actually get their work done. Okay, lots of you. That's good. Andy, let me pick on Andy. Tell everyone who you are and where you are. Andy
I'm
K.
Andy K, Douglas Elliman in Boca.
Mhm. So what's your daily routine?
Well, I'm actually very 70s method. I do have a calendar, but I put everything in like this in a notebook, and I go through. It helps keep me organized. I have a little ADD, so I start at the beginning and I cross off things as I go along. And whatever, I know it's so 70s method, but it works for me. I like things written down. But again, I go in my calendar and I take what's in my calendar and make sure everything's there. And what I don't do, today or whatever, it'll go for tomorrow. So I'll cross things off, and what's not done, I'll put it to the next day. And it's really, I know it's so simple and silly, but it really works for me.
Yeah.
So that's what I do.
Okay. And, but when it comes to now, on a personal level, you're a personal trainer, or you were a personal trainer.
Right.
And, one of the things that I know, you're a morning person, which is rare.
Yeah.
We're getting
Yes.
a lot of, some very few things. Is there anything that you've carried on from your workout routine into your business routine? And can you just share that with everyone?
100%. The one thing that I always was and still am is just being consistent. And when I was a trainer, I would tell people, like, you don't have to kill yourself every day. You don't have, just be consistent. If you have 15 minutes to work out, just do it for 15 minutes. It's all about consistency. And my tagline when I was a trainer was consistency equals success, because I do think it bleeds into every aspect of our life. No one's going to be perfect. We're going to have our good days. We're going to get a ton done. We're going to have our bad days where we're dragging. But as long as we, are consistent and get something done every day, that's the main thing. So for me, I think that's the one thing, probably the one and only thing that really has helped me throughout my life with everything, really.
Do you meditate?
I do.
Okay. I knew the answer to that question. It was rhetorical. Do you pray?
Sometimes.
Anybody? Anybody? A couple people pray? Okay. Now again, I don't want to get too group huggy before somebody runs off. I want everyone to know I'm agnostic, but I am very, very jealous of the people who actually have such absolute blind faith that they go out and put that into the work. Here's the thing. When it comes to getting someone on my team, the three things that I look for: success in sport, success in military, so we've got a new Marine here, which is great, Randy. So we got some success in military, and religion. All of that goes back to the mindset. And again, this is coming from a guy who will believe it when he sees it. Okay. But for those of you that I've seen over and over and over again in the business, some of the folks that actually have that kind of faith are really able to overcome so many situations. I believe that this is a time in everyone's career where we really need to start to think about that. So you're going to hear me say in every one of these meetings, did you send your 2 letters a day? Are you doing your CMA a day? Did anyone take what we showed on last week's meeting on how to make a CMA with ChatGPT so easily? Has anyone actually gone out and started to do that and started to implement it? Again, I'm not going to, call you out, but if you want to speak, please do. What stuff are you doing on a daily basis that kind of both increases your mindset, even when it's pouring outside, even when all the crap is hitting the fan? Because this is one of those businesses where I'll tell you, right now, I've just stumbled upon a deal. I just stumbled upon a deal. It didn't exist before. And because of a relationship that I have, somebody just said, do you know anyone who wants to buy in the community? I thought I did. I called the guy. He, it was a long shot. He said yes. As of last night, we're under contract for nearly $4 million.
Oh my God.
Pretty cool. Yeah, who was, oh my God, I like that. Yeah.
Me. Brenda.
It was pretty cool. But look, here's the thing. I could tell you that
We're all saying, oh my God.
I will talk about that, and I will proudly say that. And you could think it's bragging, and perhaps it is. This is a safe place to brag. But the point is, how many no's have I gotten to be able to say that in this meeting? How many no's did it really take? And that's what the DOJ and everyone's actually missing. They take a look at that big win. Will it be a big win? Yeah, it's $100,000 day all day long. It's going to be great. Everybody loves that. But what they're not seeing is the years and the time and the stuff put in there, and the fact that I was able to bring a deal to this guy that was so good, that was so much better than what he actually thought would be, and the buyer who's been searching for months. For months, they weren't able to do it. What is the value of that? Well, we said 6%, and we got it. So what I'm trying to say to all of you is, where is it in the mindset that you're going to actually win? We're also going to talk about the kinds of clients that we're going for. If you notice, it's a $4 million deal. Would I have done it for a $40,000 or $400,000 deal? Anyone want to have a guess?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For those that said, can you curse? Yeah, of course I would. I would do it for that. But the focus that I want you and everyone else to have, especially at this time, is how we're going to get through this is being actually listing agents and focusing on that. It doesn't mean that you can't work with buyers, but if you really want to focus your marketing energies, a great audit to do right now is to take a look over the last 2 years, provided you've been in business for more than that, where all those deals came from. Where did they come from? And is your marketing reflective of the people that you're actually servicing? I'll tell you this, and it's, you know, I'm an open book. A lot of my marketing has not been. You know, the deals happen. You hear me talk about my farm all the time. My deals happen. So much originates from this area. So much originates from this, but yet a lot of times the expenditures that I'll make might be to go somewhere completely different just for the sake of building up that business. Does that resonate with anybody?
Yes.
That you're trying to go chase this? Sometimes we chase after money and we chase after deals without actually thinking through that we've got follow-up that we have to do. We've got a lot of follow-up that we have to do, and that's not taking place. So I want to talk with all of you about the mindset and what you're actually putting into on a day-to-day basis. And if you're brave enough to say, this is something that I'm lacking, what can I do? And how are you using the AI for that? Let's talk about that. But I do want to hear from all of you just where you are. What are your daily...
20 minutes.
Sabrina?
Hello?
Hi, are you asking me a question?
Hello?
You're in a meeting right now with us. Are you asking me a question, Sabrina? Okay, I'm going to mute you out here because I don't think you meant it for me. Who said that they have routine?
Morning, Debbie.
Okay,
Yeah.
Andy, we had already. Who else? I just okay. Ala, was that a little hand here? You want to unmute and just tell everyone who you are? And where you are?
Yes. Hello. How are you?
Good, thank you.
I'm a realtor from Florida.
Good.
I recently just switched to Coldwell Banker. I've been with Robert Slack for a long time, for 4 years.
Yeah.
Yes. I have routine. I wake up. After I do my morning routine, I start calling my leads and past clients. I do at least 50 calls a day.
Wow.
That's whether I have or I don't have showings scheduled. So, for example, if I have showings in the morning, I'll come back and I'll still do my 50 calls. And if I couldn't do that 50 calls that particular day, I will make 100 calls the next day, basically. So at least I am always 5 times a week, 50 calls a day, which is 250 a week.
So it's 250 calls a week, and who are you calling?
Potential clients, leads, past clients.
Okay, and what are the results? Let's talk about that. If you're, again, I don't want to know how much you make. I just want to know what kind of meetings you're getting.
Well, showings.
Showings.
Mhm.
So you're calling on behalf of buyers, or
Yes.
you're calling to get buyers? I'm just trying to understand.
Yes. I'm going to either get buyers, or if I've been in contact and nurturing this particular person for a while, just, to remind of myself and see if they're ready to start looking.
Okay. Have you considered putting those calls to getting listings?
Well, yes, that's why I switched to Coldwell Banker.
Got
But
it.
I am going to use my consistency and my routine towards that.
Okay. Okay. So we'll do that. I think that the real, I mean, I'm still trying to understand where you were. You had buyers, you were calling non-listed properties, or what were you exactly doing?
I was not, okay. I was calling buyers, potential buyers and buyers that I've already worked with. So I
Got
guess
it.
that
Okay, no, that's
I want to do the same. I am going to do the same, but call to get the listings instead.
sure. You know, here's the reality for you and everyone else. There's going to be a lot of casualties in this war of commissions.
Mhm.
And the ones that have the highest probability of doing well are the ones that actually get the listings, which is why I want you to get the listings. Let me just ask Lavette. Lavette, you had your hand up a second ago. Do you still have your hand up?
Yes.
Hey,
Hi.
Lavette, want to tell everyone who you are and where you are?
Hi, I'm Lavette Bell, Southampton Road, that's Norfolk, Virginia Beach area.
Okay.
And my routine, I usually get up between 4:30 and 5 in the morning. And but I start calling around 7 o'clock. I listen to between 6:30 and 8. I listen to like role plays and things like that. And then at 8 o'clock on the dot, I start calling new expires and FISBOs and things like that. And then from 9 after 9, I'm calling old expires, old FISBOs, I'm circle prospecting. And then after lunch, hopefully I'll have appointments. But if I don't have appointments, I'll go back to income producing activities, which is me being on the phone, just kind of hitting up the lines, working on my database, my spirit for my neighborhood, text blasting them about whatever's going on. I'm a big part of my civic league, so I'm always sending out information to my neighborhood. So those are the things that I work on. I have, like I said, it's mostly income producing activities. I'm
Okay.
working on a resume now, trying to work on a resume.
Okay. So how much of your business is buyers versus sellers?
Um, since I started, I've always pretty much been primarily a listing agent. So I would say maybe 90% of my business is working with sellers versus buyers. I don't target buyers.
Good.
People come to me if they're referred to me. I don't necessarily turn them away, but I will vet them pretty hard just to make sure that they're serious. But yeah, I don't target buyers at all. As a matter of fact, I hope to be able to get my business so, consistent, that I'm able to maybe hand those buyers over to someone else in my firm or in the office.
Okay. And so yeah, so you want to get a referral fee from it.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. How
Yeah.
much now, let me take this one step further and then we're going to get into the AI stuff. How many of you are actually tracking the work that you're doing?
I am.
Okay, you are. And we
Mhm.
got Ala. I'm going to pick her in a minute. So I'm just trying to get my screen out here. You know, who else? Who else is tracking and how are they tracking? Greg, good. I'm trying to get somebody who hasn't spoken yet. I will pick on one of you, but let's just see. Is that like a kind of a little
It's
side
hi,
hand,
hi.
Tina? It's like I got this little thing going here.
Well, it's embarrassing because I don't really track, but it is a very big goal of mine. And I realized I was actually talking to someone else on our team, Nicole, and I was telling her that I had started writing some letters, and I think I told you too, Evan. I bought some really nice note cards, and I just started. I'm trying to get into better routines, so I'm listening to all of you with a little bit of envy because I'm trying to get into better routines. I want to do the CMAs. I've already targeted one for sure that I want to send out, and I bought nice note cards. I sent a bunch of notes, and I realized I did not write down who I sent the note cards to. And I'm like, that's really foolish. I need to have a spreadsheet where I'm keeping, like, I need to keep track of this. And it also keeps me on target because I'm a big list person. I think like Andy, I like lists. I like my checking off what I've done. And if I have a list of people I want to mail to, it will bother me to not see that they were the ones were done. So it'll make me do it more. I think making the list and which helps track your work is a big factor.
Sure. And tracking's everything because you're never going to know where the success actually came from, which is why I really hope. In fact, I'll go a step further with all of you. I'll give you a huge plug to everyone. If you just take the time after this meeting, take a look at the business that you've gotten over the last 2 years And I'm just muting out people who I'm getting feedback from people who haven't muted themselves. You're all welcome to speak, but just please mute yourself while you're not speaking. But I will give you a huge shout out and as much of a promotion as I possibly can if you just outline what you're doing over the last 2 years. Exactly who are those deals and where do they come from? Because the work that you did in the past will leave clues as to where you need to go into the future. It will show you, and you need to see that sometimes your whole approach to your business, not even sometimes, regrettably, most of the time, it's completely out of sync with what you really need to be doing. Completely out of sync. So if the business has come in from one area, you need to actually lean in and do more of that. Eitan and I have been having that discussion about the growth of Rain Nation. If so many of you liked a particular topic, we need to lean into that topic. Doesn't mean that we ignore all the stuff that I know you need to learn, but I also know that there's a certain way, there's a certain value that you get from being engaged and that you need to actually see that. That's the kind of thinking that I want to put into your marketing. So let's see some other, who else had some routines that they wanted to share? Come on, guys. It could be anything. I'm looking for, we're going to get that one odd thing that everyone's going to say, okay, wow, this is Paula. This is Paula, everyone. It's exciting. Go ahead, Paula.
Good morning.
Tell everyone who you are and where you are.
I'm Paula from New York City area,
Great.
Northeast Queens. And
Cool.
our market is huge. But I've been focusing more on expires because there are more and more expires coming up. My routine is not phone calls like it should be, but I'm trying to have more conversations with people that I've done business with in the past. So I have a huge database after being in this business for 40 years. And yes, I'm very annoyed about the changes, but here we start tomorrow. So it's all starting. I think realtors should revolt, but that's a whole nother thing. And I'm not going to do that. I don't have the energy. But the thing is, you know, if you get in front of people enough, I started doing newsletters beginning of the year. So I've done them like every other month. And to put together a newsletter, not only just with what's going on in the neighborhoods and whatnot, I'm sending it to everybody I know, even family members that are out of state or not right in my market here. And I'm getting phone calls after I send those newsletters. Hey, you know, I think this is really great, you know, whatever, asking me questions. Fine. That's what you want. You want somebody to either respond, pick up the phone, text, take me off your list. I don't care what it is, but people are seeing it. And like when I get stuff, I have a condo in Naples, Florida. Okay. So when I get stuff in the mail, especially my husband, he's like, oh, wow, look at what this sold for. People want to know that. So even if you're just sending out market stats, you don't necessarily have to have sold those properties, obviously. You just show them what's going on in the area. They love that.
Sure.
Whether it's an email or a physical newsletter.
People are very curious about the market. If you run into people, usually that's one of the questions that they actually ask you, right? How's the market?
Right.
And what's your
Right. How's the
response
market?
when they say, how's the market?
Market's great. The interest rates are at the lowest they have been since the beginning of the year, whatever you want to say. I mean, KCM is a great source. You can get any of that information, but you need to, you know, I walk around with my name badge every day that I'm working. And even if I'm going in a grocery store, people approach me. That's the cheapest thing you could do for yourself for, you know, I do bus ads and stuff, but you want to walk around with a name badge so people know who you are.
Sure.
You know, very visible here. So, but I haven't done the CMA a day. I should.
Okay, look, and here's the thing. If you don't want to do it, if you're resisting it for some reason, then fuck it. Don't do it. Okay? I mean, I really mean that. If that's the case, this whole objective behind what I'm doing here is to find what hits your personality and makes you want to do it. I happen to think what I put out with the ChatGPT prompt is a fairly easy way for you to secure, to create a CMA, to make you the smartest person in the room. And I know from my history that by getting these things out on a very consistent basis, look, the reason people give up is because they don't see any hope. They, you know, when a human tries to accomplish something, do you know what goes through your mind? The psychologists all agree on this one. There's two questions that you ask yourself. The first one is, can I do it? Well, every person in this room, in this meeting, has just as many squiggly lines in their brain as each other, okay? Now, some of you use your brain differently, but all of us have the capability of doing it. If it's been done, you can do it. The other question that people ask is it worth it? That's what, those are the two questions that everybody asks. Can I do it? And is it worth it? And the big thing that we go on with here, the reason there's such a huge failure rate is because I've been sending these 2 letters. I didn't get a single call from the 2 letters a day in a month. So 60 letters went out. Look at the cost of the stamps. Look at the time that I put into it. When I write a letter, to do 2 of them takes 15 minutes. So if I'm doing that, I did it this month 30 times, multiply that, all that time. I could have been scrolling on social media. I'm just kidding. You know, but the point is that you need to be able to have something that's going to keep you going. And if you feel as though, and I make this diet comparison because I've always struggled with my weight, if you're eating crappy food, if you're having a shake for breakfast, a shake for lunch, and then a sensible meal, that sensible meal is going to be the side of a cow. You're going to fail on that diet if that's the case. So what we need to do is figure out what the diet is for you. It's a custom-made shirt, and you're going to be the one that has to sew it. So, you know, I want to be able to go in. Who else has, you know, some type of routine? I want to be able to jump into that. If not, I'm going to share with you something I'm doing. Okay, while all of you are warming up to actually say something, let me share with you something that we're doing. And this is a routine that we have. We put this out every week, you know. Poor Daniel gets to look at this thing all the time. He's working on the next one now. So this is our lovely listing listed today. This was last week in St. Andrews Country Club. Now, over half the people that get this email are from St. Andrews Country Club. And there's a little thing that talks about our team, and there's a little thing that talks about the marketplace. And we have all these things that go into different directions. And it's something that Daniel works very hard on. But he's also created a routine, which means that he could get most of this done in a few minutes. So this thing's actually taking you to my website. Let's take a look if that's still up. That's very good. That's taken to the website. And this here is taking us to the team, and it's taken to the webpage where you're able to see all sorts of fun stuff. And here, this is actually taking you to what's going on in the marketplace. We have a routine. This stuff is being updated right now, right after the meeting. Daniel's going to do this for us. But here's the thing. It's one thing to send it out. It's another thing to actually use the data. Let's take a look at what happened. Of the 1,485 emails that were sent, I had an open rate of 44.6. A word about open rate. Some of these Apple computers in particular are giving false open. So this number is no longer an accurate way to judge your success. But this is the clicks. Let's take a look at clicks. I'll enlarge this a little bit. I had 47 clicks. That's 47 unique clicks. That's 47 different people that were somehow influenced enough to click. And we could take a look at this. Now, beyond the clicks, I'm going into links. Now, there's a reason that I'm doing this. That property, 17890 Foxborough Lane, there were 33 different unique people that clicked to see that property. Okay, Ellen Liebman, I sold her a house already. These are some neighbors that we know. This person actually clicked more than once, okay? Actually, 2 times in a row, so it doesn't necessarily count. But all these people have actually clicked. What do I do with those people that are clicking?
Contact them.
Contact them. Yeah.
Hey, wow, you guys
Send them a letter.
Yeah.
Call them, call them.
Call them.
Call them.
But there's 33 people to call. That's a good amount of work. That's a good thing to do. What else can we do with those people?
Email them again.
Email them again. Mr. Bell, how do I pronounce your name?
Kyrique.
Kyrique. Where are you, Kyrique?
I am located in the lovely Garden State of New Jersey.
Hey, love Garden State. Love the movie too. So so you were saying, I wanted to give you a chance.
I was saying, you could send them, if these people that you already contacted or they already know you, you can send them a personal note. Personal note with maybe like a, what we do is we send a personal note with like $1 scratch off on it, saying like, I love doing business with you, love to do business with you again. And it's a scratch off, but people, you know, they take that into consideration.
Look at how happy Dina is. Look at that face on Dina. Look what you did, Kalik. That's great. Okay.
I gotta scroll. Let me scroll to see Dina's face.
I
that-
like
Okay.
anything that will get somebody to keep your material, to read your material, to open your material. And that is a fun thing. And people do like scratch offs. They just
Very
do.
much.
And it's something that they'll just, even if it keeps your name in their head over your competitor, just for whatever, they have a good association with you.
yeah,
To
Absolutely.
me, that's always a positive thing. You won the lottery on your realtor.
yeah. It's definitely an approach. But what I want Kalik and Dina and everybody to stick that into some type of actual routine. Going back to my example of the 31 people that clicked, we need to surround them, not in a bad way. It's not a gang fight here, sort of, but it's not going to kill anyone. But what we need to do is actually surround those people. What we need to do, we need to surround them with, if they have actually clicked, are they connected with me on social media? I've got a special social media account for my community that most of those people belong to. Do I have them connected with me on that? Are they getting our snail mail? In other words, nobody likes hearing any of this because guess what? It's work. Sorry, guys. Work was invented in Mexico 600 years ago by a guy named manual labor, and it never ended. Kind of, sort of? No, I fell flat. Dina, too much of a dad joke? That's a dad joke.
Who writes your stuff, Edmund?
I don't know. I came up with it. Whatever.
You sound like my broker.
Good. I'll get a little bit better. Kalik, it gets better as we go along. Okay, so let's hope. Fingers crossed here.
Don't always believe him, Kalik. Don't always.
Yeah, you don't always have to believe me, but I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try. So, that's what it boils down to. When we say actual routines, one of the things that I will also do is go into, and we'll pull up ChatGPT and we'll pull up some of the other tools because I know all of you love to see that. And you can start with a prompt like this. Okay, I live in a gated country club. Actually, no, you know what? I'm going to change this around a little bit. I live in Brooklyn. Where are you in Brooklyn, Terry? Terry?
Prospect Heights.
I live in Brooklyn, Prospect Heights, New York. Guys, this works for the Garden State as well, Kalik, and it works for, the hills of North Carolina, if Eddie glances on here. Anywhere this works. I live in Brooklyn, Prospect Heights, New York. I am trying to become a powerful listing agent in that area. I want you to help me set up a logical routine to get listings. Here is the criteria. Listings should, I would like listings greater than $1 million. Actually, in that area, we'll probably make $2 million. Not required, but would like. I am active in my church or synagogue. I am throw out some other criteria, guys. Terry,
The block association. I created the block association.
I created the block association. Somebody else give Terry
Civic
some
League.
ideas.
Civic League. You're a member of your Civic League.
And okay. I am
And I am captain of my tennis team.
Civic League. I am the captain of my tennis league. Give me a charity that you're involved in. Anybody?
God's love we deliver.
Okay, good. I ride 300 miles to raise money for a wonderful charity called what happened here? Called God's Love We Deliver. Please, okay, hold on. Knowing all of this, can you set up a routine that I can use to build my listing business? I want to have this as an ongoing conversation with you to build on the good ideas. Okay, so what happened here? Here we go. So let's take a look at what Mr. GPT comes up, or Miss GPT, for those that want to see. Okay, morning preparation, exercise, planning, spend 15 minutes a day on your goals, research, spend 30 minutes on the latest market trends, new listing, prospect, cold calling and follow-ups, email campaigns, networking. You're going to take whatever in here looks good. Local events, charity work, lunch and social media. Okay, a lot of this seems pretty basic to me, so we need to go into more activity. Networking events, attend networking events, community involvement, volunteer. It's giving all this stuff, monthly activities, leveraging connections. I'm going to go a little bit deeper. Can you go deeper on the most logical place, place I can meet with sellers? How do I break into conversation in each of these venues? Okay, so let's take a look at what we're going to do. Break the ice. Start with a general friendly conversation, gradually steer to conversations. And it actually gives you some of the conversations that you could have. It's not getting to the golden note that I want for Terry, but the point is that you're going to do this regularly with ChatGPT, and you're going to be able to come up with certain ideas for this. Let's just take a look at venue breaking the ice. It's amazing how much we raised for the charity last year. By the way, I've been working with some real estate projects that could benefit our community even more. Okay, so it's giving you kind of that little in. The charity ride was a huge success. If you ever need advice on selling or buying, okay, that's a little forward. So it's going to go through various tips that you're going to be able to utilize. Some are going to be great, and some are not going to be so great. But when you actually get here, here's one other thing that I want you to see. We can take this here. Thank you, Dina, for correcting my spelling of routine. Sorry, guys. I told you I'm good at this, not necessarily spelling. So ChatGPT now has an app. I'm going to show this on my iPhone here. I'll turn off the blurred. Okay. And it actually, now you're going to all be able to get access to this pretty soon. It's a pretty natural conversation. And we'll see here. Hey there, can you hear me?
Loud and clear. How's it going?
It's going great. I was hoping that you could help me role play with some of the ideas that you came up with before on how to build business. Is that going to be okay? I want you to play the role of a really tough seller, somebody who doesn't want to be bothered, but is willing to listen for maybe 30 seconds. Can you do that with me?
Absolutely. I can be your tough seller. Give me your best pitch, and let's see if you can make it past those 30 seconds.
Okay, let's call you Steve, and I'm Ed. So can we start now?
Sure thing, Ed. I'm ready when you are.
Okay.
What do you got for me?
Well, listen, Steve, here's the thing. I'm the head of the Edmund Bogan team at Douglas Elliman Real Estate in Florida. I know that you had your house listed before. I know that it didn't sell for a long time, and I'm wondering, what do you think the reason was for that?
Well, Ed, the market's been tricky, and I didn't feel like my previous agent really pushed the property. Plus, I'm not in a rush to sell, so it wasn't a big deal.
Okay,
What's your angle?
Well, my angle is this. I mean, if it wasn't for a rush to sell, do you suppose that the price point was the wrong price? How exactly was your property marketed? And if it was sold at the right price, would you be willing to make that deal?
Maybe the price was off, or maybe it just wasn't marketed right. My last agent put it up online and called it a day. If you think you can do better and get me a solid offer, I'm all ears. But I'm not interested in wasting time.
I got it.
What makes your approach any?
Likewise, neither of us need to waste any time. Time is limited, life is short. Here's what I would propose. It's more than just bringing you the buyer. I believe real estate is something that needs to be sold. I believe that we actually need to approach the right people. And in order to do that, there's tons of resources that need to be put into marketing your property. Can I go through some of those resources and what I do?
All right, Ed. You've got my attention. Let's hear these resources and how you plan to use them to actually sell my place. You got your 30 seconds.
Got my 30 seconds. Great. Here we go. So what we're going to do is market to a database that we've built as a team to people who are already buying. We're going to go to the high probability buyers and sellers. We need to actually go to the neighbors who so often, and we noted that a lot of people who live in this community have bought because there's a neighbor that knew someone that was looking to buy. So that approach actually needs to be made. We need floor plans, we need drone work, we need photography, we need actual video. We need to work with AI to perfect the story. Here's the thing, we believe that selling is a multi-step process. And by getting into that and by being able to take that approach, we need to build a volume of people coming to your home that are the high probability buyers. What do you think of that?
Not bad, Ed. Sounds like you're covering more bases than the last guy. I like the idea of targeting high probability buyers and using different media. AI for storytelling is a new one, I'll give you that. But talk is cheap. How do I know you can deliver on all these promises?
Well, you know what? That's a really good question. And when we get together, I was hoping tomorrow around 2 o'clock, I would love to be able to outline that a little bit more. Can we come over? I want to bring my colleague Dina with me so that you could see how we work as a team to help get the product sold. See, that's where people normally fall short. They don't take the team approach. Today, real estate is sold as a pack as opposed to individually. Can we meet you tomorrow at 2 o'clock?
All right, Ed. I'll give you a shot. Come by tomorrow at 2 and bring Dina. I'm curious to see this team approach in action, but remember, I don't want my time wasted, so come prepared. See you then.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Okay, so now I kept the AI as a really easy conversation. I could have made him a total prick. I could have made that thing where he's going to resist every single step of the way. Now, I found myself doing that last night on another role play that I was doing with this. And I said to Eitan, my dear friend and partner, I'm never going to admit this publicly. And I guess I just did. But here's the thing. It works. It's a safe spot. It's where you could have an argument with a computer and not be embarrassed, not be humiliated, not to do this. How many of you would be surprised to know that I rehearse before we actually come into this meeting? I really do.
By the way, Ed, this was
Eitan,
really
go ahead.
good. This was great. Very good. So,
you.
what is this, a new version of ChatGPT? Because my ChatGPT doesn't talk to me like that.
It's a new version of ChatGPT. It really, you know, if I didn't tell you it was ChatGPT, would some of you thought maybe that I was speaking to a human? Show of hands, kind of, sort of. Yeah. And that's what we're going to start getting for cold calls, by the way. That's the new step up. And I'll do a whole other thing with you privately if you want to talk about my concerns about cybersecurity and your personal security. Anybody could fake anything today. I could make anybody say anything. If you love Trump, I can make you love Biden. If you love Biden, I can make it sound like you love Trump. I could do anything to screw us up. So we need to be aware of these things today. In any case, that's just one of the approaches. I really hope that was helpful. So much of this really is mindset. And if you don't go about it with the right mindset, you're going to really have a problem. That's the bad news. The good news is it doesn't mean that you have to, give away your firstborn. It means, like, if everyone says to me, if you could commit to sending 2 handwritten letters a day, or if you could commit to sending 1 CMA a day, perhaps using the method that I demonstrated last week with the ChatGPT. It's not that hard. If you could just give me a full outline of all the stuff that you're really going to commit to, and you're willing to work through the silence, Okay, you need to hear that because there's going to be an awful lot of silence in your life. You know, the reason most people fail is not that they're not good. It's not that they failed to plan.
Right.
And if you actually make
Mhm.
that plan and actually go through that and really see it through, you've got a great opportunity. I want you to get that $400,000 deal, but I'd be happier, and I think you would too, if you got that $4 million deal. And was that a brag that I had today? Damn right it was. I worked my ass off for that. I put in so much time with that. That is my thing. And the DOJ and everybody else wants to take that away from us. Well, screw it. We can only get, you know, you have to actually work and work the deals that you have to be able to truly, truly win. And that's what I'm really hoping to get for everybody here in the group. Questions? Okay, wants, needs, and brags. I already gave everyone my brag. This is a time in the meeting where you get to tell us what you want, what you need, and what you'd like to brag about. You know that I just got this thing under contract, which, by the way, we're still going through inspection here. So I hope to have good news for you next week as well, that it stayed in contract. But I'm a winner for trying, and so are you. Who's got something they want to brag about? It could be about their kid. It could be about a charity. It could be about a personal victory. It could be that you won a game of cards. I don't care. Come on. Now we need to celebrate successes here.
Can I ask a question instead of bragging?
Sure. Who is that?
It's Leslie.
Hey, Leslie, tell everyone who you are and where you are.
Leslie Mitchell, Charlotte metro area, North Carolina, South Carolina.
Great.
You said you were using a new version of ChatGPT to do that conversation. What version was that?
It's GPT 4.0, but it's the subscribed version, and they are rolling this out to the paid subscribers. I'm paying $20 a month for that ChatGPT for that version.
Okay.
If in fact that's not so great, there's another. Would you guys? Do you guys have time to hear one other AI or no? Okay,
Yes.
I want to show you, what was it? There's Moshi. There's Moshi, and this one could be a real jerk, which I kind of like because, you know, I got into a real argument with this thing, but it was like denying that it was an AI and that, you know, here we go. Let's just see if it's working today.
Hey there, how is it going?
It's going well. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. I just got my results back from the
I don't understand. You scored a perfect score? What do you mean?
What I mean is that I got a grade of 100.
Okay.
It's the only one you got.
So, well, let me ask you this. You got a grade for 100. Are you a human or are you an AI?
I'm an AI. I'm perfect.
You're perfect.
I don't make mistakes.
Do you think AI will take over the world? Did you hear me? Do you think
No, I don't. I think humans will take over the world.
You think
we're just too good at it?
We're just too good at it. Okay, so how would you be able to role play with me if I set this up?
I don't know if it's really me talking right now.
Okay.
Let me check my programming.
Okay, you seem like you're wigging out a little bit on me here. Would you be able to role play
This
with me?
thing sounds drunk, man.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, I'm with you.
Okay.
What do you want to do?
I want to role play. I want you to play the role of an angry seller, and I'm an annoying real estate agent trying to get your listing. Can we do that?
Sure. I'll be the angry seller, and you can be the agent.
Okay, great. So
let's get started.
Let's get started. So hi, my name's Ed. I'm with the Douglas Elliman Real Estate, the Edmund Bogan team. I heard that you wanted to sell your home. Is that true? Is that true? Yes.
That's correct. My name is Sam, and I do want to sell my house. But it looks like you have some information about our property.
Okay. It seems like we have a little latency issue here. Are you hearing me okay?
Yes, I am hearing you, but it's taking a minute to process.
Okay. So this AI is having a bit of a problem. It's moshi.chat. Put it moshi.cht. It's absolutely free. You can try it right now. And I got into one, like this thing was telling me that that yes, it would be better if AI ran the world, and that it would never really harm us, but they really should make all the decisions because humans are not capable of making the same decisions that a computer is able to make. And I said, well, I literally got into an argument with this thing. That's an AI out of Paris, by the way. So that's free. You could check it out, and I put that up in the chat. So just to answer the question that was asked before, ChatGPT 4.0, you subscribe to it, it's $20 a month. You could drop out at any point, and they are now rolling out the more advanced conversation piece. This Moshi.chat shows a lot of promise. It's getting better and better and better. I'm going to review these things every week because I simply can't keep up with it. And if you find new things, send it to me, because all this is driven by people that I know. They say, hey, Ed, can you research this? And then it's either me or poor Daniel, who I really put to the test of finding out about all this stuff. But it is the type of thing that you're just not able to keep up with everything on your own. Leslie, that was a very roundabout answer. I hope that helped.
That helped. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Other wants, needs, and brags. We're running late here. I'm sorry about that. No? Okay. I want to thank all of you. Daniel, we have the topic for next week? Or we have a topic on, when is our next meeting?
Friday.
It's Friday. Okay. So Realtors problem solving with ChatGPT. So we're going to do another AI related event. We're going to talk about your problems and how they could work. To that end, I'd like for you to email me, and Daniel's going to put my email address up, Edmund@Bogan and come up with some serious issues that you have with your work. And together, we're going to go through on Friday at noon how we can use ChatGPT to help overcome this. This is going to be driven by you. And by the way, we could fail. It might not give you an adequate answer, but we need to overturn that stone. It's going to be Friday at noon, solving your problems with ChatGPT. Please, 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 when you get the email from Daniel saying, can you send us some of your issues that you'd like discussed, send it to us, and then we will be able to answer that. And Eitan, my partner, who's always astute and keeping in there, if you like the meeting and you're not a member, please do subscribe. You could click on the link and do that. We have some great opportunity there. And that said, Eitan, am I missing anything? No? Daniel? Missing anything?
We're good. We're good.
We're good? Okay. Terry, are you ready?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. This is, for those of you who haven't seen this before, you're going to see it here first. Evel Knievel couldn't make this leap, but Terry's about to. Okay, here we go. I want to thank all of you for coming today. It sure is great seeing all of you. I really hope that we could get together one-on-one, and I really hope that I see all of you on Friday, 12 noon Eastern Standard Time, for another exciting episode of
Rain Nation.
Thank you, Terry. I always
Thank you, Edmund.
Thank you.
Get out of this thing.
Thank you.
Like, oh no, we were here all week waiting for Terry. Guys, it's great to see everybody. I really hope that we could connect, and I really hope to have one-on-one meetings with all of you who've not been in just yet. Randy, you had asked a question earlier about how to record these meetings. I use something called Otter, O-T-T-E-R. Is it O-T-T? Yeah, I think it's OTTER.ai. You could use a limited amount of time on it for free, or you could go become, more robust user. But what it does is it transcribes every word that gets spoken in these meetings. And from there, I could put this into a, I put the full transcript into ChatGPT with a prompt asking it to summarize the meeting. And I keep a full archive of these meetings. These meetings are posted by Daniel on our blog. It'll be up within an hour or so, along with that description. So you're able to do this. But more importantly, I'm taking the information from this meeting, and the plan is to ultimately write a book, to be able to say, we have the full transcript of this meeting. We have the full transcript of all this great content that went out there. Now we could put that content into an AI and have it help you write a book chapter by chapter. Each meeting is a chapter. So there's some really cool stuff. OTTER.ai. Randy, I saw you had the question earlier. I just wanted to wait till the end. Thank you, Daniel, for putting that up. Other thoughts? Anyone else want to schedule one-on-one with me? It would be, now's a great time to do it. Daniel, do you have the link handy for the folks to do that maybe? Poor guy wasn't expecting me to say that. Okay. Don't worry, Daniel. I'm not going to yell too hard. You know, you could
Here, I
definitely.
just put it up in the
So
chat.
he's got this. Okay, so it's Aton put it up. Calendly meeting with Ed. Please
Okay.
click the Calendly and make an appointment with me. You know, I've had a crazy week, so things might be shifted around by us, but in order for us to know that there's an interest, please do that. I would love to meet with all of you. And if you got some ideas, definitely for Friday, please tell me your problems that we could solve with ChatGPT. Even if it seems completely outrageous, please get them to me. I need the full audience participation to make this work. Guys, 10:03, you go out there. Come on, let's get them, man. We got this. We got this. There's going to be a in the real estate world, whether it's a place for you, it's going to be up to you. So there's no reason why you can't make a living in this. There's no reason why we can't go beyond what's going on. It's going to be a terrible inconvenience, and it's going to be really frustrating. I mean, that's just the God's honest truth. But stop bitching about it. It's going to happen. You know, there's not much we could really do. So, you know, if that's the case, you know, I'd say bitch about it all you want. It helped you make money. The idea is to actually make money. Let's do it. Let's go out there. Guys, I got a jet. It's good to see everybody. And I hope to see you real soon on Rain Nation. Thanks.
Thank you.
Peace.